Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Whiskey Diaries. My name is Malt. I'm going to be your host today. We're going to be talking about the distillers editions of the Diageo Classic Malts. For those who don't know, Diageo owns what they call the Classic range. This Classic Malts is what goes into most of the Johnnie Walkers, and they do as well single bottlings. There's 7 of them, so we've got Caolilla, Lagavulin, Talisker, Cragganmore, Dalwhinnie, Glenkinchie and Oban. So those whiskies are basically the core range of what Diageo owns. They own all these distilleries across the last 20-30 years when United Distillers became what Diageo is now. It's one of the biggest it's actually the biggest alcohol company in the world, and they do this malt. Now the core range are the 16, 12 years old and so on, and then they do something else that is called the Distillers Edition. The Distillers Editions, as the name implies, is basically the distillers approach to what would work best with the distillery itself. Now in this particular case that we're going to be talking about today is going to be the Dalwhinnie Distillers Edition. Dalwhinnie is literally, it cannot get more classic than Dalwhinnie. Dalwhinnie follows a very old school style of making whiskey. They have very tall stills. They spend a lot of time working on the new make spirit, like the wort and the fermentation and all that stuff is very old, very classic orientated. The stills are wood fired, and they produce a very oily new make style of spirit. So much so that the Dalwhinnie can only be drunk at 15 years. They don't do any Dalwhinnie younger than 15 years is because the new make takes that long time to actually mature and be not drinkable, that's not the word, but just be at its peak. Now the Distillers Edition, they decide to do a double maturation. All the Distillers Editions that we're going to be talking in our videos, they're all double maturation. So they grab and they age the first part of the whiskey that they don't tell you. They age it in American oak, and then they pick either port or a sherry. In this case, is Oloroso-Sherry. So to create a double maturation with a whiskey that is so oily and takes so long, it's actually quite skillful. So much so that this whiskey is regarded as one of the best double mature whiskies out there. The distillery in itself was established in 1898. It's in the middle of the Highlands. They have rights to their own water source. Nobody can touch that water source, and the source comes from like pristine snowy mountains. So the whiskey in itself, it's a classic. You can't go wrong. And the double maturation on this Dalwhinnie is something that not many people can do. So as I said, Oloroso Mature, all of them get bottled at 43% ABV, which is a nice, I reckon that between 43 and 46 is one of those, that's perfect sweet spot for whiskey to really enjoy without having to add too much water or just to get too much of a punch. The color, as you can see, is actually like a little yellow hue. It's not too dark, so the Oloroso-Sherry really is more like a finishing touch more than like overpowering. So you can see that it's just basically, if you put this next to a Dalwhinnie 15-year-old, you wouldn't be able to tell the color difference. The nose, yeah, that's definitely Dalwhinnie. You get like a little bit of sherry, but a lot of vanilla and a lot of toffee as well from the American oak. Yeah, that's delicious. It has a nice weight. You finish it, but it finishes back with that spiciness that you get from sherry casks and stuff. So hopefully you enjoy this one. We'll see you in the next one, and Slanjaba.